We did not have a good week here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania last week. There was devastation across the stores, and we're going to see what that looks like again here today. And I got some surprises for you. Walmart playing some sneaky tricks, and some sections actually completely wiped out. You're going to see it with your own eyes. Let's jump over to Aldi, and then we're going to get over to Walmart and see what some of these national chains are looking like right now. A lot of produce problems over at Aldi as well as Walmart, but Aldi, it's where it's really showing up hard and fast. A lot more cardboard boxes out there disguising the problem. Cabbages, there were a few left, but when you start looking around, that they were just using boxes to prop up stuff and to basically just take up space. And this is where the celery should be, this is where the iceberg lettuce should be, but yet none of those. There's one package of celery left, and it was like horrendous. So that's why no one wants it. And just seeing that all throughout the store. I tried looking at the lettuces, bags of lettuce, shredded lettuce, and it was just super wilted, super bad stuff, just awful. And there wasn't all that much of it in the first place. A lot more cardboard boxes than produce. Bread section. This was at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, folks. This was not like end of the day. Definitely seeing issues here. I'm hearing from a lot of you guys out there that you're seeing bread issues. Bread issues. I don't know what's up with the bakeries all over the United States, but apparently they're having issues getting out enough bread. We've been hearing about flour issues out there, but I don't know. Maybe they're not getting enough eggs or whatever. Eggs were $1.89 here for a dozen. That's not too bad, honestly. And Aldi had plenty of eggs. Over at Walmart, there was plenty of eggs there too, and the prices were a little bit more, but not too bad, and they had a lot of supply. Some of you guys are not seeing egg supply out there. On the milk front, seeing some issues here. Saw issues with the whole milk last week at Aldi. This week, just a lot of the smaller jugs. I looked up behind these cardboard boxes, and there wasn't anything more behind them, and on the chocolate and also on the upper shelf up there. So it wasn't just like just pull the next one forward, right? But also some outages here on different milk substitutes. I have started looking at the rolled oats and the oatmeal, because we have been seeing some little bit of issues with that. Nothing too major just yet, but just noticeably absent sometimes, and that has seemingly been speeding up recently. Canned fruit, we're still having issues with canned fruit, especially with pineapple. It seems like we're having more issues with pineapple out there. Let me know if you're seeing issues with pineapple. If you want to leave an update, just leave a comment on any one of the videos on this channel. Use the word update in that gets it to the right place and give us some sort of geographical location. But canned fruit seems to be having significant issues out there. I saw this last week after the fact. They pumped these up to $1.29 per pound. But it's back down to 99 cents a pound, so naturally I grabbed a whole bunch. So if you don't like pinto beans so much, lentils do basically the same thing nutritionally, and obviously gearing up for some tacos here at the place. My pretzels and tortilla chips got kind of wiped out by my family coming over the holidays, so restocking some of that. But lentils, you can make great lentil curry. I recommend checking out Indian Food if you haven't already. It's not that expensive to do stuff, and you can use canned goods for a lot of stuff. My lentil curry is fantastic, and I kind of doctor it up a little bit. If you like spicy, it's nothing better, right? Anyway, salt issues. We've been seeing some salt issues. You're going to see more of an issue over at Walmart, but just keeping an eye on what Aldi's got going on there. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement accounts and you want to see what you can do with gold, silver, or platinum, and you want to work with a partner that is actually quite good and not just a scam artist or something like that, there's some pretty shady businesses in the in this field. And I was just talking to them about that. And Genesis Gold Group, good Christian folks that are doing a good job. And you can check them out or talk to them and see what they have to say. They don't pressure you, and I have not been hearing complaints about them from you guys. And we've been working with them for over a year. And pasta, looks like some of the mac and cheese pasta areas. Not really sure what's going on with that just yet. We've been kind of hit or miss over at Walmart, but they usually seem to have them pretty well stocked. Now, we know the olive oil issue is starting to come to a head, so I'm keeping an eye on that, and I'm seeing here that they tried taking over some of the space with some grapeseed oil. Haven't seen that recently, and avocado oil, but the olive oil section just suddenly shrunk down. That was kind of noticeable. Broth, there's less broth out. Definitely, this whole section got kind of shrunk. They used to have bigger, the organic and then the non-organic, the organic and we won't comment on what it is, but they had more room, and they have less room now, and they're not even keeping this stocked. Potatoes, I noticed canned potatoes, 2 cans left, and then they had a couple cans over here where the sliced carrot should be. But not very many potatoes. They used to have a lot of canned potatoes, and you know that's a nice one to get too. When it comes to the meat section here, notice that the chili with beans was just completely gone. The chili no beans had 3 cans left. That's kind of noticeable. I used to have quite a bit of chili. And when we go over to Walmart, you're going to see something along those lines over there too. Hot dogs have been having issues for a while now. Not quite sure what's up with that. Bacon is hit or miss, but the box above it was kind of empty and just not looking good on the bacon front. Frozen vegetables seem to be getting impacted now too. So not just fresh vegetables and fresh fruits, but also frozen stuff. We're now over at Walmart, and just some of these bins just kind of looked a little low. And the banana, it was like all green bananas and then like a few abused like brown bananas. You want brown bananas or you want green bananas? And that's just not great. Potatoes, frozen potatoes. They did have the hash brown patties back a little bit better, but a lot of the other potatoes were missing things. Frozen pizzas, having issues with that still, not quite sure. I'm not sure if that's related to why we're having issues with some of the bread, but maybe some of the breading issues are same thing with the pizza, frozen pizzas. I mean, same ingredients for the crust, right? In addition to that, just other frozen things, other frozen meals, kind of looking low. Coffee down a bit. Nice thing about coffee is, especially if you get the green beans, you can, if you get the beans that are untoasted, they do last quite a while. Toasted beans last longer than ground beans, but and then the freeze-dried stuff basically lasts forever, as they say. But noticeably low on the coffee. The peanut butter, some of you guys have been sharing about peanut butter issues where you are, and at first this doesn't look too bad with the peanut butter, but then you just take one step back and go, where's all the generic? Yes, there is some generic down the bottom shelf here, but everything else is name brand. And they just ran out of generic of basically most of the varieties. That was kind of, it was, when you look at the shelf and you're like, there's something wrong here, I'm not sure what it is. That was what I noticed after taking a look at it. I did a double take. I was kind of like, something's off. And, it was a little low, but in stock overall, but it was the generics missing. Canned fruit, issues over here too at Walmart. Of course, we have olive oil issues as well as olive issues. So it's not surprising to see us definitely lower on olives. Vinegar, not as well stocked as I'd like to see, but not terribly so. Pickles kind of missing some gaps there. Some of it's fronted. And salad dressings, we're still having issues with salad dressing. Though we were having issues with ranch dressing before, it seems like we're having more issues with the oil-based dressings. So maybe with diet season, everyone's switching over or something. I don't know. But I don't know why the Italian dressings would be having more of an issue and the ranch dressings less of an issue now. But that's kind of why I saw it. With the canned corn, not sure why we're having issues with canned corn, but we seem to be having issues with canned corn. Other canned green beans and stuff like that was a little bit lower stock, but not too terribly so. And then in the meat section here, we have we had some issues with Spam last week and the week before, just being lower stock on Spam, especially the 2-packs. There were not all that many 2-pack Spams. But if you're going to buy Spam, Amazon, you get the big 12-pack there. That gets it down price-wise. Or if you have a Sam's Club membership, they have the big, I think they're 12-packs over at Sam's Club. That's really the cheaper ways to get Spam. Buy it in the 12-packs. Don't buy them individually if you want to save some money. It gets it down to like $260, $270 or something like that, is kind of what I think I've been seeing out there, and sometimes you can get it down to $250. But that, and then when you start talking about the if you can stand the generic stuff I think tastes just fine. Maybe not quite as good, but they seem to be hiding the generics right here. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but they do that. Like literally, they do that. There's a gap up there that they're trying to hide, and then they're also covering up something that they don't want to move quite so fast. They want you to buy the Spam and not the generic Spam. I think they are having issues keeping the generic Spam on the shelf. So they're having issues with a lot of generic stuff out there, but that's something to keep an eye on there. Also, the regular Keystone beef did go back up to $9.88 there. It was for a bit down at $8.88, and or 8 something. I was telling you guys about that before. Hopefully you guys did get the chance to stock up on that while it was down in price. Tuna fish, it's less. I mean, as you can, it's a little chaotic there, but you can see not fully stocked and not in the back row. Chili looking lower here as well. Manwich continues to expand and take up more and more space. The non-meat options of things definitely keep expanding, but that's kind of par for the course recently. It's like the meat substitutions are what they want you to move on over to. Also, speaking of substitutions and expansions, the creamer, the powdered creamer, this whole section has expanded dramatically in the last number of months. This is like twice the size it was before, but it's not full, right? I mean, they expanded it to cover up some of the coffee issues, but they're not. They expanded the K-cup section to, and less of the ground coffee. But what we're seeing is that they're not able to stock all the sections that they're trying to create. And there's a big twist coming, friends. There's a big twist coming shortly in the video. But looking at the pasta sauce section, once again, where's the generic? There's no generic. It's all name brand stuff. And, that's where all the holes are. It's just in the generics. Soup section, still looking quite terrible. People are quite sick all over the place. Please be praying for people that you know that are sick. My brother is having some health issues as well with respiratory stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of people out there right now. A lot of people going to the hospital. We're seeing that. And those are real people that are at the hospital with conditions and such, getting tests, worried about why they can't breathe and all that. Rice here, where'd the rice go? There's one 20-pounder bag there of Great Value brand rice, nothing else. Where's the other 20-pounders? You seeing that maybe people are starting to get a little worried? Are people starting to get a little bit worried? I don't know, friends. You tell me. Are you seeing people out there? Plain salt, non-iodized salt. There's a couple little containers of iodized salt there on the left of Great Value brand, but everything else is plain salt. Why is there an issue with iodized salt? I mean, it's really not that hard for them to add the iodine. I mean, and that's what they want you to be eating, right? They don't want you on the plain salt. But the plain salt is more useful for canning. Sorry about the blurry picture. This is the olive oil section of the Walmart. You can see that there's a lot of gaps there. Some of the bottles fronted. A lot of sections have a space in the back behind them. When you look over at the seed oils, you're seeing low amounts here. It looks like people are looking for the olive oil. They're not finding it, and they're going over and they're getting some canola oil or vegetable oil or corn oil. That's what it is with the shortage. Sugar looked a little bit low here. The palette of sugars looked pretty good, but then when we're talking about the cane sugar was low. The beet sugar looked fine. Oatmeal, again, the oatmeal actually looked pretty good here. That didn't look too bad. I got the wrong tag there. That is the extra large egg apparently, as opposed to the just the regular large eggs. But $2.13 for extra large eggs. That's definitely up from what it was before. But as you can see, there were plenty of eggs, looked like. So plenty of egg options here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at least, at the Walmart, Aldi, other stores in the area. I know some of you guys are really seeing severe egg shortages where you are. If you're not seeing egg shortages where you are, make sure you grab some extras. You can freeze them. You can dehydrate them. There's different things to do. Just make sure that you are being safe with whatever you're doing. Milk, not too bad over there, but we're seeing some issues here. Cream cheese, not super bad, but creamer, the half and half, that's low. Definitely seeing issues there. Other creamers seeing issues. But then check out this butter. On the left is the margarines, right, the fake butters. And on the right is the butters. And all of the butter sticks gone. Just all of them. And, I mean, kind of noticeable, right? This isn't like, this isn't kind of like just a one-off kind of thing. That's pretty big and glaring. Is anyone else seeing issues with butter out there? I've heard some of you talking about that. When it comes to other dairy things, they moved all the dip up to the top shelf so that the short people can't get to it. I know you guys are like, they don't really do that. Yes, they do. When they're trying to hide stuff, they hide it at the top shelf and at the bottom shelf. If they don't want to move the product, they put a top shelf, bottom shelf, or they put one of those like non-food racks in front of it to kind of hide it. So it's like it's there, but it's like not super obvious and not super convenient. Right on the middle shelves, that's the prime zone. The stuff they want to move is right there, but you can see a lot of stuff missing in the dairy section. Stovetop stuffing continues to expand. All the stuffing just expanding to more and more space, because you know how popular stuffing is in January, because January is when everyone wants stuffing, right? There's more space allocated to stuffing now than before Thanksgiving. Let that one sink in for you. And where are the other brands of mashed potatoes? Because there's no name brand boxes of mashed potatoes. Just all generic. And those were, they weren't completely fronted. They were like too deep. But where were the rest of them? Now, this was something I was walking around and then it stopped. I stopped and I looked around and I was like, this aisle on the end here feels bigger. And then I stopped and I looked at it more closely, and yes, indeed, they shortened each of these food aisles by 4 feet. They knocked 4 feet off these things. I mean, the middle of the picture is where the end of that aisle should be, but they moved it back. They shortened all of the food aisles at my Walmart by 4 feet. That's the kind of stuff that if you're not paying attention, friends, I was trying to look for those marks on the ground, but they buffed those out really well because I couldn't really find exactly where it was supposed to be, but I could just tell from remembering how wide that aisle was, and just, wow, 4 feet. They really don't want to sell food, and you're seeing that across Walmart. Some of you guys have been talking about paper products. Toilet paper actually looked pretty good here. Paper plates looked fairly good. Canned cat food, the bulk canned cat food was missing a bunch. But the little cans looked pretty good. Some of the sections of dog food, dry dog food, looked like it had gaps. And you can see that there too. All right, friends, if you have reports, please do send them in. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video, there's one right on the video, right on the screen. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. There's a button right on the screen that you can subscribe, or the subscribe button down below. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.